Hey everyone, it's Eric with firearmtutorials.com, and today I'm going to give you guys a look at doing some stippling to your magazines. I've got the lighting a little overexposed here so that you can see the texture of these magazines and kind of get an idea of how I'm doing this and see what I'm doing. So you see I already started this one here, but what I'm using to do this is this Weller WSB 25WB. This is a special soldering iron that's meant for burning into wood and different things. It's a hobbyist tool that comes with several different tips. You'll see this one here is the one I'm using. It's kind of got a little star pattern. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off with a wire brush. And one of the things you should pay careful attention to is that these soldering irons get very hot. Unfortunately, this one is not temperature adjustable, so you're basically stuck with whatever temperature this thing heats up to. But just make sure that you've got a good temperature going so that you can get a good pattern going into the magazine. So I start kind of towards the middle just to make sure that it's up to speed, or up to temperature, I mean. And you know, you should be able to feel it. You don't want to hold it there too long, just enough to get a nice burn. You'll see it's starting to smoke a little bit here from the plastic burning. But you know, once you get started with this and get used to it, it goes pretty quick. I can do a whole one of these in about 15-20 minutes maybe. To where I think the first time I did this took about an hour, depending on, you know, what tip I was using and how I was trying to do the pattern, but this is what works out best for me. So at some point the tip will start to get, you know, sort of black, and it won't burn as well, so I'll just touch it to my wet sponge here and clean it off a little bit, and then I usually just hit it with the wire brush here. There, you see that cleaned it off pretty nicely. One thing that I should mention though, if you're doing something that's not black, just be careful about how long you're pressing the iron to it, because it will actually burn the material and start to leave a black mark. This was one of the original things I did. It's just a standard AR-15 grip. Now when you're doing this, it's important to know that the surface that you're doing it to has to be flat, and you know, it has to be pretty soft. This PMAG's a lot easier to burn into than the grip was, just because it's softer. But just be careful and take your time. With that AR-15 grip, I actually had to sand it to get the original checkering off, so that took a lot longer than this, obviously, where I just kind of touch it and go. So once you've got a nice coverage in the middle, you know, if you leave the iron there too long and you end up with, you know, a larger hole, or it's raised up a little bit more than you want, you just go back over it, and you see how I'm turning the iron clockwise, counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. And it kind of smooths it out. It'll give you, depending on how you do it, a little more aggressive texture, or you can use it to tame down a texture that you might think is too aggressive. Now here's something that I learned from doing this. The first couple weren't really that good, but make sure that you don't go right to the edge, because once it burns, it's going to burn outside the box. But you know, that's pretty much it, guys. It's not too hard to do, and it doesn't take that long, and it's pretty cheap to try. I mean, these magazines are 10-12 bucks, so if you mess them up, it's not the end of the world. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.